What's something you've done for love or money that you regret?
This was with like my ex. And he was cheating on me. So I had a camera in his apartment, and then I found out when she was in there, and then I broke in when she was in there because I made a copy of his key and he didn't know. And then I got her key, and then I made a copy of it. And then I broke into her apartment. I started just like leaving there because she had a boyfriend, and then he broke up with her, and then I like started talking to him. Like my original plan was to like him because I was angry, like I was gonna have like breakups, but then he was just like really boring, so I just ended up ghosting him.
Jeez. You did what? Listen, man, you ever see the Jerry meme, the Jerry Mouse meme, where he's just looking like it's 1,000 things going through his damn head, and he can't even understand or fathom how in the world you came up with that, right? That's what I get from this. All right, I'm gonna play this back, man, because we just gotta break this down. Let's get back to it.
What's something you've done for love or money that you regret?
This was with like my ex. And he was cheating on me. So I had a camera in his apartment, and then I found out
he was cheating on her. That's gotta create negative emotions. That's gotta be painful, right? And this is why I talk about emotional terrorizers. That's why I literally wrote the book on it, okay? In a moment of high emotional turmoil, we do the worst things and we forget about our own self-worth, our own self-value, our own futures, and we start making decisions that can destroy our own life. And we gotta be careful not to do this, okay? So anyway, she says she's been cheated on. Now, that's one thing. Now, what that does is it creates this emotional validation that what I do after this is right. Wrong. Let's continue.
When she was in there, and then I broke in when she was in there because I made a copy of his key and he didn't know. And then I got her key, and then I made a copy of it.
So you made a copy of his key and he didn't know. So you set up cameras in his home. Okay. It's breaking and entering. And then they're setting up the cameras inside of his home. That's got to be some type of violation of privacy. That's got to be some type of other crime, depending on what state you're in, right? So you made a copy of the man's key, so you didn't live with him. He had no idea that you had a copy of the key because you done it behind his back, and now you're coming inside of his home, and you even called it breaking in. So now you're breaking in somebody's home. And guys, when a lady tells a story like this, listen, man, we got to give the right advice. Because if a man was saying he did this, we'd be going in on it, man. You could have lost your life breaking into somebody's house. You could be in jail or prison right now, breaking into somebody's house, right? But that's what she did now, making a copy of the man's key, all in the name of vengeance, right? Sweet vengeance. But this is what I mean by what you're doing at this moment could be what's destroying your life, even though it's making you feel better emotionally. We got to get ourselves together, because what happens in those high emotional times does reveal versions of ourselves that need work, man. Honestly, yo. And the sad part is she's telling this story now, meaning she probably don't have any real honest friends, because somebody would have told her this is crazy, and she would have known better than to say this publicly, which is another bad decision that could ruin her life. But let's continue.
I got her key, and then I made a copy of it, and then I broke into her apartment. I started just like leaving there because she had a boyfriend, and then he broke up, and then...
So now you're breaking inside the girl's house that was cheating with your boyfriend, right? That was messing with your boyfriend. Now you're breaking in her house, okay? Okay, that's another person's house now. That's two houses you're breaking in, and you're telling this story, so you're basically snitching on yourself, right? So what you're doing when you break in the home, though, is you're bringing, I guess, your own things in there, other female things in there, and you're sabotaging the house. You're sabotaging the relationship by leaving things around. You want him to see this stuff and break up with her, right? Okay, cool. Let's continue.
And then I like started talking to him. Like my original plan was to like him because I was angry, like I was gonna have like breakups, but then he was just like really boring, so I just ended up ghosting him.
Poor guy. So he didn't cheat on you. He had nothing to do with the cheating, right? In the name of vengeance, I mean, you ghost him because he's boring. Now, you already sabotaged the relationship. She's cheating anyway. I guess you just, for lack of a better reason, and let's just say that, hey, you set him free, right? He wouldn't have known otherwise, likely, and now you expose that she's a cheater. Yeah, he broke up with her for things she didn't do, but ultimately she did those things, right? At least with your guy, she did. All right, cool. So now he's out of a relationship. Okay, cool. But now you're dating him, and you just ghost the guy. So now he's then got cheated on, and the very next girl that he dated just freaking ghosted him because he was boring. Now your plan was to, and this is the crazy part, Your plan was the F him out of revenge, right? If my daughter told me this, I'd be livid. Because I want her to value herself. I don't want her to take what some fool does to her and let that make her spiral out of control and become a worse person and do things that she'll ultimately regret, things that'll ruin her own life. You don't go lay up under another man to hurt some other man's feelings, man. You're supposed to care more about your body than that. You don't know this other man you're sleeping with. You don't know what he's into. He could be out cheating on his girl for all you know. So you could have got something from him. You could get pregnant from these acts. I mean, listen, man, you're not valuing yourself. And the reason I know that is because you're not thinking about your next decision. You're not thinking about your future in these decisions that you're making, rather. You see what I'm saying? So if I'm hearing this story just as a man on the outside looking in, I'm going to say she's irrational, right? She's impulsive. Okay. She was hurt, but in a moment of hurt, man, she'll just turn into a loose cannon. You understand what I'm saying? She'll lie. She'll manipulate. She'll break into your home. So she's cuckoo. Right? Because if you cheated on, you could just go your own way. All these things that you're doing after it, to you, you feel is validated because your friends are probably saying, yeah, girl, get him. You right. He deserves it. But really, you're a psychopath. You're a stalker. You're a creep. Do you understand? And you're using the fact that somebody cheated on you to do that. Yeah, horrible decision after horrible decision. And I can tell she doesn't have any friends. And I'm coming back to that point again because a real friend would have treated her like they cared about her. You understand? Again, if I heard my daughter say something like this, I'm going to go in on all the things that she could have brought on herself because I care about her, not her exacting revenge and feeling better about what someone did to her. You understand? So I don't think any parent, any brother or sister would listen to these stories and just say, okay, yeah, you did the right thing. But you can tell this is what's been happening for her in her reality because, again, she's sharing this story on a public forum for the world to hear it. Now, she's already done these things, but now she's making these things public. And that's because it eludes her on how toxic and terroristic these things are, how illegal these things are. Do you understand? So breaking and entering twice, you setting up recorders. Like I said, you're doing the most. And then you're talking about your goal was to lay up under this man, sleep with him just for some type of revenge. So it's like, you know, your body's supposed to be valuable to you. You're not supposed to be using it as a pawn or a weapon. And that's weaponizing your body. You understand what I'm saying? So ladies, to any potential man who's watching that video, if you say these things, you think they're going to value you going forward? You think they're going to say, oh, well, I'm going to treat her right? Because that's all that happened is he cheated on her. You don't think they're going to listen to all those things you did and start placing that with your character? And I know you're going to say that's the past and it should. No, that's not how it works. Because if that was a man saying he broke in somebody's house, then broke in somebody else's house, are you sitting here saying, well, oh, poor him, he just got cheated on? That ain't how that work. And this is what I talk about, how any one of us can become an emotional terrorizer in a moment, man. All it takes is things to go wrong to expose our emotions. All it takes is a very hurtful moment for us, man, and we can turn into some of the most terroristic people in the world and actually feel validated. We won't feel sorry for it at all because what we're seeing is, or what that emotional terrorizer is seeing in that moment is what you've done to them. And they're thinking about what you deserve, but they're not thinking about the morals that they have to discard to be the one to give you what you deserve. Do you understand? And the consequences that follow that as well. But let's continue. Matter of fact, I think that was it. Yeah, that was the end of it, man. So I'm going to start doing these videos, man, because I believe that they need to hear it. Obviously, they're not hearing it from the people that care about them. So if I find these videos that you guys done put up, I'm going to take them and go through them. And hopefully I can say something that can get back to these people. And maybe they can make some changes and kind of hear what I'm saying. In that moment, she became a horrible person. And I would consider dealing with her in the future. I would look at that like that's a no-go. That's terrible. That's terrible red flag. And she may say, well, I was hurt. I was in pain at the time. So, I mean, honestly, yo, the consequences still going to come, man. What you did to that guy was completely foul. You know what I mean? But anyway, guys, stay tuned for more, man. Be evolution. Be the change that you want to see. No candle loses its flame from lighting another. And if you were to ever find yourself in the middle of chaos, it's in that chaos that you have found yourself. Peace.